What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith. I am so happy you guys are taking time out of your busy schedules to take and join me today. We're going to have a blast today. I have a very special guest. He's one of the leaders in the podcast world, currently associated with Sports Illustrated. He's part of not one, but two podcasts. His content is amazing, and he's even more amazing of a person. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to take and welcome Alex Donno. Alex, how you doing today, man?
Oh, I'm doing great, Doug. And man, it's an exciting time of year, and I follow your stuff, and I think your channel is awesome. And man, and thank you for wearing Canes gear for me today. And I'm pumped to talk. I'm pumped to talk some Dolphins because I'm excited, man. I got college football tiding me over now till next week, and then it really blows up when everything's going on.
Oh man, this is football. I feel like the sport is just getting bigger like every 5 years, man. There's a jump. Like even once NFL's over, like we got college football and NFL, those are the two main ones, but then we got USFL, we got XFL coming next year. I mean, it's so much, man. So God bless the sport of football. It's a beautiful thing. Awesome, man. So folks, I'm bringing on Alex Donno. I met him a couple weeks back. We were on was it Finn's Tailgate we met? I think it was.
Yes.
Man, shout out to El Capitan, the Finn's Tailgate, man. Just like one of the coolest dudes I've ever met. And from his personality to how he hosts the show, he's so cool. But through that, I had the blessing and privilege of working with Alex Donno. So that's how we met. And we're going to get into some Miami Dolphins football. We'll touch upon some Kane stuff here as well, too. And at the end of the episode, we're even going to take and talk about our Super Bowl predictions and we're just going to take it there this episode. We're going to have some fun. Let's kick it off with, okay, so we all know Tua balled out season 3 against the Philadelphia Eagles, final preseason game. Right now there's, like I say, a bye week before actual week 1 starts of the regular season. But everybody's talking about the Tua bomb. The Tua bomb. It was a beautiful pass. I love what I saw. But we're going to talk about what Kurt Warner had to say. Did you get a chance to watch the Kurt Warner tape today, Alex?
No, I didn't. Was he the one who was it that was talking about how he didn't set his feet properly? Was that the Kurt Warner one?
It was Kurt Warner. Yeah.
I did. It's funny. I didn't even realize that was Kurt. Somebody tagged me in like a minute 20 Twitter video, and it didn't have Kurt's name on it. I didn't realize that's who I was listening to. And I thought the interesting part about that, Doug, was. And, Kurt has said in the last couple of years some really positive things about Tua. So I don't want anyone to think that Kurt Warner's like a Tua hater. I think he just calls it like he sees it mechanics-wise. But I think it was interesting to hear Kurt say that he saw the same tendencies from Tua back at Alabama, because I do not claim that I have dug deep enough, nor do I know as much about quarter mechanics as Kurt Warner. I'm fully willing to admit that. That I didn't necessarily realize that him not having his, feet properly squared to get all the power you need to throw. I didn't realize that was something that anyone was saying about Tua back at Alabama. So I thought that was pretty illuminating by Warner. And I wonder if that's something that Tua maybe. I'm sure that he and Hicks are working on this, and that he's working on this in practice, whether he's on the practice field or in his training sessions. I think it might just be one of those things where like quarterbacks develop habits, and sometimes it's tough to kick those when you're in games.
Yeah, absolutely. All that I know, and I never played quarterback. Matter of fact, I played 1 year of college football, New Mexico, Highlands University. It's in the middle of nowhere, dude. And we were just joking around, running some, practice was over, but we had our own little scrimmage. I said, Doug, you want to play quarterback? You're a big guy, 6'3", man. Go. I bet you got a rocket arm. Yeah, I had a rocket arm, rocket right to an interception, pick 6, my first throw. But what I learned is your elbow and you're right-handed, right? So your left elbow and your left foot have to go at the same place. So if I'm throwing here, it almost needs to like take and add up. Right. And then Tua was kind of throwing across his body, but up the middle of the field, if that makes any sense. Honestly, I don't know, maybe he did it on purpose. And two, I mean, he is a very accurate guy too. I see Patrick Mahomes make crazy throws all the time and nobody says anything. So I feel like the whole thing was blown out.
Well, and the other thing, like, and also he was throwing it to a spot, right? And so it wasn't. And listen, had it been maybe a couple of extra yards downfield, it would have been a touchdown. I'll take a 51-yard completion though, and he was throwing it to a spot, and Tyreek made a really nice catch. So it was one of those things where, after that throw happened, like, I'm super pumped because they gave the fans what they wanted, right? Tyreek and Tua playing for the first time together in kind of a real game, sort of a real game. And then they go deep and complete it on the very first play. So I'm like, man, they did this for the fans. And then I saw people picking it apart on Twitter. I'm like, okay, I guess that's just what NFL Twitter and Dolphins Twitter do.
Yeah, you know, it is when it's almost like when you see siblings argue and they're just bored, so they want something to do. It's kind of like how us adults get on Twitter sometimes. So you tend to,
and also, like, okay, so people break down that one throw. I know it's preseason, but Tua had virtually a perfect appearance, in the 3 drives that he played in. I mean, he had the maximum passer rating possible. So it's like you could only pick apart that performance so much when he literally statistically could not have done any better.
Thank you. I on the same page. Now, yesterday, shout out to Finn's Tailgate. He's in the audience right now, man. Finn's, man, we were just talking about you a few minutes ago, man, how great of a guy you are, man. We appreciate you, bro.
What a guy. What a great purple blazer he's got. Every time I see that, I get jealous.
That's trademark right there, man. If he came out with his own action figure, I believe will happen one day. It's going to be aqua here, and then it's going to have that purple blazer right there.
Like, he looks like, and I this is going to sound like it's a negative, but I don't mean this as a negative. Like, he looks like a really cool used car salesman. It's like you show up at that lot, and he's like, "Here, I got a 99 Buick to sell you." And I'm like, I would buy it if the salesman had that blazer on. I would buy it for sure.
Heck yeah, man. Absolutely, man. He has a warmth to him for sure. During yesterday's episode, we had, I don't know, Alex, was there like 9 of us, 10 of us in there or so? And Clayton Fejelim, I always have a hard time with his last name. His name came up as far as a person that we were shocked who made the roster. Now, he's a pretty good special teams player. However, today he was added to the injury list, pup list. He's not going to be playing for a bit. So today we signed 3-time Pro Bowler Justin Bethel. Now, a little bit about Justin Bethel. He played with the Arizona Cardinals. He was a 6th-round pick, but the guy is a baller. Cornerback / special teams player who can actually play the cornerback position. He's a 2-time first-team pro, 2013, 2015. He was with the Cardinals from 2012 to 2017. Atlanta Falcons 2018, Baltimore Ravens 2019, and then New England Patriots 2019 to 2021. But it seems when I'm looking at the stats, I mean, he's definitely not a cornerback 1 or a cornerback 2, but he's definitely a support player. And that's kind of the vibe I'm getting here, but he's a very good one at that. And in my opinion, just off of what I see here, 237 tackles, 5 forced fumbles. I'm from Wikipedia, excuse me, y'all. 8 fumble recoveries, 20 deflections, 4 interceptions, 3 defensive touchdowns. That's pretty darn good.
Oh, I like that.
The guy's definitely a facelift. No disrespect to Clayton Fejelim from what we had before in him, right? Not saying Clayton's going to be cut. Maybe he'll come back or whatnot. But I think this is like his last year's contract, or maybe he has 1 more year. But if Bethel works out, man, this is a great plug-and-play player, man. And I'm really excited for the signing.
It seems like a really high upside, low downside type of signing, right? I mean, when he's been around for a long time, which the mileage can catch up when you play defensive back. But this guy knows how to ball. I mean, you're talking about a 3-time Pro Bowler, well-traveled. Sounds to me like I'd rather have this guy on my roster for the full season than Fejelim. I'm just saying, right? I know we were picking that apart, and we were kind of upset last night on the Finn's tailgate that a guy like Lynn Bowden gets the axe and somehow Fejelim still makes the team. But I mean, listen, I like this Bethel move. I'd kind of hope that no longer having Flo, we wouldn't bring in so many former Patriots. But I guess a lot of guys who played in New England can ball. So this seems to, and I'm assuming he's probably going to play some special teams. It'd be kind of an insurance policy at corner. So I like this move. I think anytime you can go into the scrap heap and get a guy with credentials like this, it's like if it doesn't work out, he's probably not going to be that necessary anyway. And if it does work out, great. You found a great, reclamation project.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned something, Lynn Bowden. He got signed to the practice squad of the Patsies.
Yeah.
I saw that
Didn't take long.
Hours, probably like 3 hours ago. I was on a toilet seat at work. And I'm on Twitter being nasty like I am. And I'm scrolling, and I see that. And I was like, what? Like, hopefully this is fake news, some good old fake Twitter news. And no, it was real news. He really did sign, man. So, but he's such a baller, man. I want him on our team. Like, I'd almost say, like, hey, let's get rid of Sherfield. I have a hard time with his last name, Sherfield. But yeah, man. What are your thoughts on Lynn Bowden over to the Patriots?
Yeah, it's a little bit surprising. Well, I mean, not the Patriots part. I'm a little bit surprised that they let him go. But I know it's a numbers game. When you're talking about a guy who's taken up a wide receiver spot. But I love his versatility because he's a dangerous return man. I think he's a good receiver, and I also think if he wanted to be, you can line him up at running back or at quarterback if you're in a huge emergency. Like, this guy can play pretty much anywhere on the offense and on special teams. The Patriots part of it is not that surprising because they do this a lot. Like, we'll see if he actually sticks on the Patriots roster or if Belichick just wants to interrogate him for a few days and kind of like figure out. So what's McDaniel doing down there? Because Belichick has a track record of that. But yeah, I mean, it goes both ways. We've seen the Dolphins sign a lot of former Patriots the last couple of years and the last couple of hours, days, and it also goes the other way that a lot of Dolphins who get released or traded, like my guy Wes Welker, end up in New England. So I think that part of it is not that surprising. But I was a little bit surprised to see Lynn Bowden get his walking papers because you can't tell me, and I'm stealing this line from an unnamed source. We will attribute this to Confucius or something, but you can't tell me that Lynn Bowden is not one of the 53 best players on the Miami Dolphins roster. I think he should have made it.
I agree. And maybe you see this too, Alex, is that right before he's about to make, this is Lynn Bowden, this is a defender, right before he's about to make contact, there's a certain edge of violence that he plays. Yes. Not saying he's a violent person, but there's a certain edge of violence that he plays with, a grit, a dog. And I don't mean D-O-W, D-O-U, D-O-G, I can't spell today. I'm talking about D-A-W-G, you know what I mean? Like dog, Mississippi dog, like, you know what I mean? Like, and he embodies the Miami Dolphins spirit, that attitude, that football field gangster. I'm not talking about off the field, but on the field, man, and I love it, man. But yeah, man, he's on the Pats now. Dang it, I don't like you, Lynn Bowden. But I like you as a person, but just dang it, not as you're on the wrong team. But it's okay. I'm happy.
And that means we're only about 11 or 9 days. I'm not kidding. You can't spell. I can't do math today. We're about 9-10 days from potentially seeing Lynn Bowden score touchdowns against us, which would be it would be so Dolphins if that happened.
Yeah, and look at the history. You brought up a good point, man. It's like, remember Heath Evans. He goes to the Pats and kills it. Wes Welker, he goes to the Pats and kill it. Hogan, he goes to the Pats and kills it.
I forgot about him.
Remember Hogan, man? He was a baller.
And also, I remember how good he was.
Yeah.
That training camp, Hard Knocks. So, like, everybody was watching that. Like, he was so good. Joe Phil. Like, Chris Hogan was that's when he got the nickname 7-Eleven. He didn't get that nickname when he got to the Pats and played for he got the nickname 7-Eleven. He's always open. He got that in training camp 2012, and then he didn't make the roster. And then you knew he was, and he's played for like every AFC East team since, and he's been a thorn in our side over the years.
Man. He just, and his route running. But I'll say this, man, and I know it's early. River Craycraft reminds me of Hogan. It just, and I'm just talking about the smoothness, not like the body stature, because they're feel like River Craycraft is made a little shorter, a little stockier, but his route running was, I mean, yeah, he had that one drop. I was like, darn it. But he also made some like really clutch catches. He played with an attitude, you know what I mean? And I want to see him get some playing time, man. Maybe the last 3 weeks of the season, man. How great would that be, man?
It would be awesome. And that's a guy that like I feel privileged to have like watched him coming up, right? So it's like you always root for these guys who are like really nice preseason stories and really nice camp stories. Like you really root for these guys. And I remember this is going pretty far back, and I know he had some like personal issues later in his career, but I remember when Devon Bess was an undrafted Dolphins receiver. That was one of the first years that I was covering like training camps when I was out there in person with the media. Mm-hmm. And I can remember, and I think I'll give Omar Kelly credit because I think he was the first person who was like, you got to watch this guy, Devon Best, undrafted guy. He was just always open, and he had some nice years with the Dolphins.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, another point I want to bring up, and then we'll move on to our last topic of the night. TD Finns talk, right?
I love him. Oh man, I love
that guy.
See, I can't say enough good things about that guy. First of all, he's a really nice dude.
Yeah,
people need to understand that. And I feel like I'm taking you too far behind the curtain. Like TD he'll probably be angry if I say this, but guys, he enjoys pushing your buttons. Like for the people that he makes angry on Twitter, because I see some of the nasty things they say about this dude on Twitter. He probably doesn't care. He probably enjoys it because TD has fun.
They see some terrible stuff though. It upsets
me. He's such a nice guy. Don't hate him because he scrutinizes your quarterback. He's a really good dude.
Yeah, and he's so necessary too. Like, he's so necessary for our Dolphins universe, our Dolphins culture. You know what I mean? And he provides a great service for us of really digging into crates, as we were saying earlier, right? And he's wonderful. And sometimes I agree with him, sometimes I don't. But that's with anybody, So I love TD Finns talk. But I wanted to bring up there was a butting of heads with Tua's training staff, and I was like, I didn't know who it was, and then I did the research. I'm like, yo, these are the people who train Tua Tagovailoa. These are the people. So I'm saying, what if, and maybe this is the conspiracy theorist in me. What if that got to Tua, motivating him? He did. TD Finns talk. Maybe we need a statue of him at Hard Rock Stadium. I love TD Finns talk, man. Shout out to my man. I just want to throw a random thing out there.
That's hilarious. No, and listen, I think I know some of that stuff gets to Tua. Like I don't think that he personally spends time on, like, he's not Baker Mayfield. Like I think Baker Mayfield is on Twitter all day when he's not working out. I don't think Tua does that. But I do think people tell Tua. Like I can picture like his trainer Nick Hicks is the one he's on Twitter a lot, obviously, because he got to do with TD. Like I think Hicks probably tells him, is like, man, you got to see what these guys are saying about you. This TD Finns talk, you need to show him up today. I got to send out a video of you throwing 50 yards down the field today, or 70 yards, whatever it was.
Oh yeah, and then the people who follow his Twitter page, the guy who was talking shenanigans. I'm not going to repeat the stuff that he was talking really reckless. I understand he's defending this guy too. I get it, but hey man, he's not like he's going after Tua's character. He's just talking about on-field stuff, and it's just not that deep. It's just not that deep. You know what I mean? Shout out to Finn's tailgate, bro. I caught the sharp nail on that whole TD thing too. Yeah,
I caught some of that too. I didn't catch it with TD, but I've been in the crosshairs of the trainer before as well, because he's got like, and I don't take any of this stuff personally. I don't think he does either, actually. But he's got real like loyal followers. The trainer, like people like worship this guy.
Yeah.
And if you poke fun at like a Tua workout video and he responds to you, you're gonna have like 30 like zealots like go at like, how dare this guy say that was underthrown. So yeah, people catch a lot of shrapnel from that dude.
Yeah, it's like if somebody says something about Lizzo, like, look, y'all, I don't want to get canceled. Let me not get canceled. So the last topic of today's show, hey, we'll finish off the episode with this, and I wanted to do it not only with a special guest, a special person. Once again, Alex, thank you so much for coming on the show. Before we finish off this last topic, let the good folks know where they can find you.
Oh, thanks so much. Well, the first place is you can see my Twitter handle down there. It's just my name, 2 N's in Donno, Alex Donno. Follow me there. Also, I could have flashed this one up as well, but at Locked On Canes, I probably do more tweeting from the Locked On Canes account because I'm trying to grow that one a little bit. So if you follow us at Locked On Canes, I will follow you back. If you follow my personal, there's like a 50% chance I'll follow you back. Because if I see, the way that I do it, Doug, is if I see like someone follows me and I can see they've got like Dolphins or Canes or something in their bio, I'm like, I'll follow this person back. right? But if they follow the Locked On Canes account, I'll follow anybody back. Like you can be like a porn bot, I'll follow you back because I'm trying to build that Twitter account
on weekends.
Yeah, exactly. I'm always disappointed when they're not real because I'm like, oh, wait, is this lovely? I'm a happily married guy. Let me note that. But
yeah.
If I got one of those porn bot follows, I'm like, oh, maybe she thinks I'm sexy or something. Nope, it's a bot. every time it's a bot. So yeah, and check out. I do a daily Miami Hurricanes podcast. We do. Obviously, season coming up, so no shortage of material. We do talk a lot of recruiting on that channel as well. It's Locked On Canes, available on YouTube, and there's also an audio podcast. And that's the main. Oh, and I should mention, because we're among so many Dolphin fans here, starting this Tuesday, the day after Labor Day, I am starting a new Dolphin stream on the 5 Reasons Sports Network, and former Dolphins great Troy Stratford is going to be doing that with me. It's an old show that we're taking over because the guys who did that old show went to another platform. So we're taking over the extra yard on 5 Reasons Sports, and we're going to be debuting that Tuesday coming up. I think 3 o'clock on Tuesday.
Very cool. Very cool. And down below in the description, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, that's where you'll be able to see the description. Go down below. I think I actually have every single one of those links down there for you. So all you got to do is he's a click away. I got his Instagram, got his Twitter, all the good stuff, man. Make sure you follow my guy and thank me later. Appreciate y'all. Finishing off the episode here. Super Bowl predictions for the 2022 to 2023 season. Let me first off say I've never seen the AFC this stacked in possibly NFL history. And I was a type of kid growing up, Alex. My dad bought me the 72 Dolphins Super Bowl on tape, on VHS, and I watched it like 3 times.
That's awesome.
In middle school, right? So I know
cool.
about Jim Kick, man, Jake Scott, all the greats. So I'm like a football historian, so I love that stuff. But I've never seen the AFC this stacked. And then the NFC, there's only a few teams that are good that I could see. I'll start off with you, Alex. In your humble opinion, what are the 2 teams that you see going to the Super Bowl? What team do you think will win it all? And what will be the score? I know it's very early.
Okay. I like this. So, well, first of all, I want to give a quick background story here so you guys don't think I'm just going chalk on purpose, right? Because when Doug told me beforehand, we're going to do Super Bowl picks, immediately I had my matchup in my mind. Like it was just there. And then I went on an odds website to look at like who the favorites were. And I feel like such a loser because the 2 teams that I'm picking happen to be the favorites from each conference to get there. I didn't do it on purpose. Okay.
Yeah.
I think Tampa Bay gets back there this year. And just something poetic about that. Cause I mean, this could be the final year of Brady, right? Could be, he'll play for another 10 years maybe, but I think Tampa Bay gets back there. And then in the AFC, I am challenging the Dolphins to stop this from happening because I think we may have something to say about this, but I think it's Buffalo's year to finally get there. I mean, they've been so close the last couple of years, and I am a big believer in their defensive front, especially having just added Von Miller. I'm a big believer in Josh Allen, and honestly, his development gives me a lot of hope for Tua because he didn't really click until the 3rd year. Now Tua's going into the 3rd year. So, hopefully the Dolphins have something to say about this and they can, lay the hammer down on Buffalo. But I just think the Bills in a very stacked AFC because, I've given the Denver Broncos some consideration, but it's hard for me to like pick anyone in their division because it's like so loaded. So it's like, who's going to cannibalize what out of the AFC West. So I don't know. I'm thinking Buffalo, it's their year to, finally get back there. But then I think it's going to be like the 90s remix, Buffalo losing Super Bowls, right? I think they're going to get to the Super Bowl. Ooh. And I think Brady and Tampa Bay are going to get another one. So you're asking me to predict a score. I'm not going to pick them to win by a field goal because they released my guy, Jose Borregales, which makes me very angry. The former Canes kicker. I'm going to go Tampa Bay. I'm going to go 27-20 Tampa over the Bills in Super Bowl, whatever number we're on now, 57, 56, whatever it is. I'm going to go Tampa over Buffalo.
I love it. Ooh, I can see that, man. Tom Brady, man. I can see that. I like that. Mine is definitely different. I think these 49ers are for real. Actually, let me rewind a little bit. I believe in the element of surprise. You look what happened with I may just be talking out my butt, and we watch this 10 months from now. Like, Doug, you silly Billy, what were you thinking? Gee golly willikers. But look at the Bengals. The Bengals are not my pick, by the way. We look at the Bengals, and then the element of surprise. They punched the NFL in the mouth, man. And they had tough games against Miami Dolphins and stuff like that, and they were to overcome that. And yes, they lost in the end, but the element of surprise, Jamar Chase, top 3 receiver already. Joe Burrow, top 5 quarterback already. The NFL wasn't ready for that. And they had the worst O-line in the NFL, or top 3 worst O. He was the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. I say that to say this, that I have the Miami Dolphins making it to the Super Bowl this year versus the San Francisco 49ers, a repeat of the 1985 Super Bowl. But guess what? Look, these 49ers are for real. But Miami Dolphins, man, you saw how and I know it's preseason, baby. I know. Man, we got the fastest receivers in the league. And yes, our O-line is not all that, but guess what? It's way better than what the Bengals had last year. Plus, we have some more depth. And their secondary, what was it? Eli Apple. Yeah, we got our Eli Apple. There's no Igbenehi, but he's going to be right in the bench, baby. We got real good cornerbacks out there. We got the best safety duo in the league. One of the most – dude, we're going to have a top 3. If you play fantasy football, this ain't a fantasy football channel, but you better draft the Miami Dolphins defense. Can I preach church? Listen, I got the Miami Dolphins winning the Super Bowl, okay? I have them winning it all, and it's going to be 33-27. Miami beats the San Francisco 49ers in the Super Bowl. And that's my prediction.
Well, now you're getting me fired up. And that would be – how awesome of a matchup would that be? I don't know. I can't remember which network the Super Bowl's on this year, whatever the rotating is. But I know it's not on Amazon. It's on one of the big networks, I guess. But just the build-up with Mike McDaniel going up against San Francisco and, Mostert and all the former Niners that would be a lot of fun.
There's a lot of them too, dude.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. So you got Mike McDaniel's like the prodigal son. He's always wanted to be a coach. And he goes out there in his white tracksuit looking like Mark Anthony. And he's like, 49ers, have I not taughteth you how to run a thin offense? And man, it's just going to be great. Honestly, I feel like with Tua, just not to go off topic, he's either going to be a Jimmy Garoppolo or a Russell Wilson, or maybe somewhere in between as far as safety, low turnovers, accuracy. That's kind of
I think he can be a better version of Jimmy G, because I think he's got a higher ceiling than Jimmy and just a more accurate passer, but he's going to be kind of asked to run the offense the same way. So it's like if you can have a better version of Jimmy Garoppolo, and Jimmy Garoppolo, had them in the Super. I'm not going to say it was all him, but he had them in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. So could work out pretty well.
And they've been knocking on the door too, man. So it's going to be exciting. Yeah. Well, Alex, man, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. This is so great. And hopefully this ain't the last time we collaborate together, man. And thank you.
It won't be. I will keep answering your messages. So we'll do it another time.
Heck yeah, brother. Absolutely. And folks, go down below, subscribe. Again, before you subscribe to my channel, go down below in the description. I have a juicy paragraph with just about all social medias, even like Apple Podcasts where you can find them. Hit subscribe, follow, thank me later. Once again, Alex, thank you so much, brother.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.